Survival tips: marriage purgatory. I discovered my husband's emotional affair. At least it's only emotional as far as I can prove, and I was done. This was October 2021 and January 2022, respectively. For financial reasons, I can't leave until August-September, and I just need tips on how to survive. He keeps asking for time, what we're going to eat, starting arguments that keep me awake until the wee hours of the morning on a nightly basis because I decline time, and he keeps asking why I'm so upset all the time. Oh, and the worst is, why won't you come to my family events? Trust me, I've been clear. I don't trust him. That's why we don't have time. I am unbelievably depressed. That's why I don't want to be around your family. And also, most importantly, I already asked him to leave and he refused. He is married and I can't force him out, but I did tell him, if you try to force me or bully me into getting over this, like you tend to do, you will look up one day and I'll be gone. And you will never see me again. He harps on the fact that it was just texting, but I don't believe that. He was out until 6 a.m. twice, no more than a month after we were married with this woman. Furthermore, he was distant, took money from me and spent it on her, and after I found out and tried my hardest to forgive back in October, he gaslighted me until January, when God slapped me in the face with more proof that it had continued and basically said, now you can't ignore this. I have decided to leave. I keep feeling guilty about the fact that it was just emotional because, again, no proof that I cannot trust him. I hate looking at him. He watched me cry real tears and continued on with this woman. He chose her. It's important to know he met this woman a few weeks prior to the wedding and continued until he was caught. 2 months after the wedding, he provokes me to get an emotional reaction, and I'm sick of falling for it. Please send advice. Redditor's reactions update after. Redditor 1. First, I'm sorry for what he did. I've been cheated on too, as so many others on this sub have too. Unfortunately, you're being kind to him. I tell him that he heard what you've told him already and that he knows the score regarding this, and you expect him to not ask for time from you ever again. Tell him to feed himself. Don't do any of his laundry. Don't make food for him. Don't do anything for him Not a damn thing. Hell, don't talk to him. If he asks you something, you don't need to respond. I trust you're not sleeping in the same room and bed. Tell him it's really simple. Tell him that you do not trust him, and then that's on him, not on you. Tell him his actions caused that. Tell him without trust there isn't a relationship, and that's why you're leaving him. I hope you've spoken to an attorney already. Have divorce papers worked up. It takes a while to get divorced depending on the state you're in, so don't delay. You don't want to move out and then still have the divorce pending. Get that started. If you don't feel safe, do you have any friends or family that you could stay with?
Stay tuned for more.
Answer: no, I don't. At the beginning of this relationship I was happy and surrounded by friends and in a place I loved. We moved 10 hours away near his family and mine, which I have a strained relationship with, and his family has just covered up for his lies, and it has been said, well, every woman has been cheated on. Marriage is about working through it. I don't know about his mother, but for my own, I watched her lose hair, weight, self-esteem, be angry, and now completely isolated in her old age because she is damaged. Because she should have left. I never talk to anyone anymore. I don't want anyone getting in my head and changing my mind. It's a lonely feeling, but I've been thinking about getting a new therapist. I only stopped in February because mine changed jobs. Redditor 2, it doesn't seem like you have kids. Can you grey rock him? If you're not familiar, look up grey rock method. It might be useful here since you've already been clear in your communication with him. Answer: no, we do not have children. I try grey rocking, but the things he does, such as slamming doors or continuing to talk while I'm sleeping, is hard to ignore. He doesn't need a reaction as long as I feel SID. And when I feel SID, I give reactions. That's Amy problem, and I'm really working on my mental strength and emotional intelligence, but I'm so afraid I'm going to lose my job or my mind before September. Redditor 3, My advice from my teenage days when I did everything to avoid my parents, only be home to sleep, eat, shower, hang out with friends or take up a time-consuming activities. This is the most healthy advice. The rest of it is unhealthy. Buy sound-cancelling headphones or a really loud fan. Lock the door. Only leave the room when you really have to.
Stay tuned for more.
Update: how do I get screenshots back on my phone? Incredibly long story short, I am needing some screenshots of my husband cheating back. He got into my phone and deleted them. We are headed towards a divorce, and although I wanted non-contested divorce, I may need this to prove adultery. He deleted them from my recently deleted as well. This was last October. Is it a lost cause? Update: all right. New question: how did you get them to leave? I'm on the verge of a mental breakdown and losing my job. Which if I lost my job, the breakdown would follow. He agrees to leaving and then the next day pretends we didn't talk about it. My emotional intelligence needs some work, so I can't keep going and back and forth with him as I wind up screaming and crying. Not because I love him but because I feel trapped. We rent and have no children. Please advise. I feel that no contact is the best option, but he is trying so hard to be a good husband and guilt trips me. I never say yes. I stay firm. He cries and now it's 4 a.m. and I have to be online at 8 a.m. for work. I'm so ducking exhausted. Update: I finally left. It's been a long time coming. Check my post history. I could not get him to leave. He knew he had rights, but I also knew I was smart. He was caught cheating 4 different times in a year of marriage. The most recent was last week. For the past 6 months, we've lived like roommates who don't get along. I came up with a plan. We sold everything together. I told him we could move closer to his family, so we planned it all and planned to start over. There is no furniture anymore. There is no property anymore. I rehomed my dogs to my sister. My mother had a minor car emergency a few months ago. I gave her all the money I had to fix it and put it in an account for me, which she did, and also put the money she needed back in. It's no longer in my name. I don't have anything on paper anymore. It's honestly a bit freeing. We headed to his family's house last night to stay. When I got there, I gathered some items that belonged to me and my mother that I left there after the wedding. I had him loaded up patio set and paid him $20 to take it 15 minutes away to my mom's house. Well, then we headed back to his family, or so he thought. I just kept driving. I stopped once for gas. And again to get my dogs. And then I drove and drove and drove as fast as I could, and now I'm 2 states away. My mother sent me some money from my stash to help me get settled. But this is it. This is ducking it. This is the first day of my new life without him. It finally happened. And it feels just as good as I imagined. Redditor's reactions story 2 after. Redditor 1, don't forget to serve him papers.
Stay tuned for more.
Op answer, that is already scheduled for this Friday, Sept 2. And I can't ducking wait. Redditor 2, bet that was the best drive of your life. Congratulations and congrats to the beginning of the rest of your life. Op answer, it was. I crammed my 2 German shepherds in the back seat of my car for 12 hours, but they took it like champs. Mostly slept on each other. Never whined. Held it the whole time. It was if they knew we had important essay to do. They are never that good. They took in some cool winds and stared off into the darkness. It was peaceful. No cars on the road. It felt like the highway was just for me and my pups last night. Redditor 3, you'll be amazed just how much your mental health improves by simply having to not interact with him every day. Keep striving for the kind of life that you deserve. Story 2, just outed a guy to his GF for attempting to cheat on her with me. Currently working at Comic-Con, and this couple walks up to me, asking me about the event and essay. "K cool. That's what I'm here for." But it's when the GF turns around to leave, and her BF looks dead in my eyes. Drops a piece of paper and leaves with his GF. Tell me why it was his name and ducking phone number. Oh no, 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 wrong women, you ducking idiot. I ran as fast as I could to find them. Like running from the cops fast, I found them, and the look of pure fear on his face will satisfy me for the rest of my life. I said, "Hey, your BF dropped this dude tried snatching it from my hand." "Nah homie, gotta be quicker than that." Handed it to her. She looked at me with such appreciation and gratitude, and it was almost as satisfying as the fear in his eyes. And I just walked away. But the cliffhanger will haunt me for the rest of my life. So worth it though. Women need to support women.
Stay tuned for more.
Story 3. Resenting friends who knew. My husband confided in several of his friends about his affair partner and the trouble he had ending the affair. I was clueless, naturally. I thought life was great. Now that we are attempting reconciliation, I can't help but look at these particular friends differently. Like I'm close with their wives, and some of them even told their wives what my husband said. I feel like everyone was laughing at me in some way as I excitedly spoke about our adoption journey and the Bora Bora anniversary trip that was supposed to be in September. I know it's unfair that my husband offloaded a heavy secret like that, and perhaps they didn't have to tell me or didn't want to get involved, but they knew. And smiled to my face all the same. I just don't know how to act around these people anymore. Story 4. My friend doesn't know the guy she says is like an older brother to her has romantic feelings for her, and I don't know if I should tell her or not. I can give backstory if you need, but basically I 25 know this girl 27 who's in a committed relationship. Her fiance 34 is deployed. They have a kid together. She's also friends with this guy 37 who I know, separately from her. Neither one of them know that I know the other. She considers this guy like an older brother. She's talked about him and said that she can really count on him. She trusts him. He helps her out with a lot. I know he mows her lawn, fixes things around her house when they break. He's married with kids, and before all of this I definitely would never have thought of him as the type to cheat on his wife or anything like that. My friend is also really close to the wife. They go on weekend trips together, to the spa, etc. The thing is, he's talked about her to me as well, again not knowing that I know who she is. And he's really attracted to her. He talks about her looks constantly, how gorgeous she is, how he wish he had met her a long time ago, how he keeps hoping for situation between the two of them, etc. He's never said anything that would make me think he would ever do anything to her or anything like that, but it's pretty obvious from the way that they talk about each other that to her it's entirely platonic, and to him it's not at all. I don't know if I say something to her about this. She's alone with him a lot. I don't know if she should be aware that this guy has more than older brother feelings for her, since I know she doesn't have any feelings for him, and she's completely committed to her fiancé. I don't know if this is something that I would be overstepping if I told her though. Like, not minding my own business. Story 5. Fiancé cheated before wedding. My fiancé 25 meters virtually cheated on me 25F before our wedding. My fiancé 25 meters and I 25F are high school lovers. 10 years together now. We've been through tough things together, hospitalization, grieves. And I love him more than my life. It has been hard for his family to accept me because he's Turkish from France and I'm fully French. But now his parents are like mine and the other way around as well with my parents. I've seen his little sister and brother grow. We have a real bond together. All of my 4 brothers love my fiancé. They ask to see him more than me. He once cheated 5 years ago virtually on dating apps with fake names. Just esting. I felt so betrayed and blocked him for 2 months. I was studying in another city and we went back together after talking. It was hard for me to trust him back. He proposed 2 years ago and we're planning on getting married in 2023. I've just bought my wedding dress and he made me meet his aunt in Turkey. Everyone knows about us and he's really proud of us. I'm now working also in another city, but we see each other every weekend, so I don't feel it is a long-distance relationship. We can't move together before marriage, so I rent a big flat and bought furnitures because for now he's unemployed living with his parent, more cultural than by choice, and can't help, and I fully understand that. Anyway, last Thursday I was on his TikTok account and noticed he has hitting his following. To make it short, He was talking to a girl and told her he was single. They have spoken for 1 week. She was the first following him and the one begging for his number and Snapchat account. She told me that. He told her she beautiful. He swore he felt so bad and wanted to told me about everything. He directly told his mother about this. She was really upset and cried with me on the phone telling me she didn't want anyone but me, that I was a daughter to her, and she advises me to take my time, think of the 10 years together and then take my decision. His dad doesn't speak to him as of now, and he's sending me messages that he's so sorry and does not want to lose me. His family is so adorable it makes me feel even sadder. I've blocked him everywhere. I've been home this weekend and my family kept asking where my boyfriend is, when he would come. I can't tell them what happened. I don't know how to act. On one hand I feel he's a cheater and will still be. I feel betrayed by the fact he hid it from me, talked to another girl behind my back and lied saying he's single when I was buying my wedding dress. On another part I'm thinking it is a stupid thing on TikTok. They spoke for only 1 week and did not see each other. He was hiding himself. He's still trying to reach me by mail, for instance, and I don't know what to do. Forget him. The 10 years together. The wedding. Forgive him. But I can't trust him. I kept asking him why he was doing that. Is it because we're each other's first love and he wants to discover new stuff? Is it because he does not want to break up to not disappoint his family? Is it because he just doesn't love me? He replies by assuring me he loves me deeply and he does not know why he did that. He felt disgusting of himself even when I didn't know and wanted to stop it. He says he doesn't want anyone besides me and so on. What do you think I should do next? Sorry for my English. I feel lost.
Stay tuned for more.
Redditor's reactions. Redditor 1. He did it twice. That's not a mistake. If you can't trust him, then there is no point in having a relationship. If it was me I would be out, but only you know what I'd best for you. Redditor follow up. He got caught twice. My guess is it's probably happened more times than that. If you don't want to tell your family, just send them your post. It's better to learn from that 10 years than to repeat this every few. You won't regret valuing yourself in another 10 years. Redditor 2. You are marrying your fiancé, not his family. While I understand that you have 10 years invested in this man, you have another 70 years left to live. He's already cheated on you twice, and that's just the times you know about. Because he's shown himself to be untrustworthy, it's not hard to imagine that he has cheated repeatedly and never been caught. It also doesn't seem great that he's unemployed. You know now that he's unfaithful. He's not going to become faithful just because you marry, nor will he automatically get a job just because you marry. You're the only person who can decide if your warm relationship with his family is more important than his infidelity. If you marry him, he will cheat on you. Is that the life you want? If it were me, I would break up with him knowing that the breakup will be painful for a long time. You are still young and still have every opportunity to meet someone who treats you with love and respect. Your fiancé treats you with neither, and he never will. Redditor 3. This guy has cheated on you twice that you know of. The real number is likely higher than that. Marriage doesn't change the underlying nature of the relationship. Don't go through with this, unless you're okay with it playing out like this over and over again. Sorry that it FCKS up your wedding, but this will save you a divorce. Redditor 4. Please don't succumb to the sunk cost fallacy. You may have invested 10+ years with him, but he is actively on apps stating he is single. That behavior will not stop just because you say I do. It will hurt to walk away, but you may want to do just that. Find someone who can be a real partner and doesn't chase after other women. Redditor follow up. Sunk cost fallacy doesn't really apply here. Not defending him, just pointing out I think this is incorrect. Redditor 5. This is the second time that you know about, could be many more. He is showing you how he behaves. If you take him back, you are giving him the permission to do it again. And he will do it again. He knows he can get away with it. Don't let his family pressure you. Tell them you love them, but you can't marry someone who cheats on you multiple times. Tell your family he cheated more than once. Be strong. Redditor 6, he did it twice, and that's only the times you know of. I highly doubt it was the only time. I guarantee you this isn't the only girl he's telling he's single. Cut your losses and move on, he won't stop. You're 25, don't spend your best years married to someone who you can't trust.